Now, lastly, for our movie news, is Vanity Fair just recently released a new article about the future of Star Wars, and they just kind of seemingly dropped it out of nowhere, which is kind of bizarre.
Yeah.
But we've got a bevy of news coming out of this article of varying degrees of importance and varying degrees of progress on upcoming projects. So, like right off the bat, the one that we probably care the most about, Mandalorian Season 3. They didn't really talk anything about Kenobi in terms of release stuff because that's right around the corner. Kenobi's next week.
Oh, bro, let's
I've
go.
longed to say that sentence. But Mandalorian, they talked a little bit about that. Is shooting for a late 2022, early 2023 release. So I'd imagine maybe around Christmas time it'll drop the first episodes and then kind of continue into the new year. I feel like they've done that before around that same time period. For like the 3 or 4 year anniversary of Disney Plus. I'm trying to remember the first year that
Something
it
like that.
launched. So yeah, they talked about Mandalorian a little bit. Mainly talked about it coming back. Our boy Ewan McGregor, bless the man that he is. Ewan McGregor out here acting like Tom Holland, spoiling stuff. So it's nothing major, but for a while here, Ewan McGregor has been in a relationship with actress Mary Elizabeth Winstead for 10 Cloverfield Lane, Birds of Prey. Relationship something else entirely, but he accidentally let slip that Mary Elizabeth Winstead is in the Ahsoka series. It's something about like, oh yeah, with me working on Obi-Wan and Mary working on Ahsoka, and he's just like, oh yeah, I don't think Star Wars has let that known yet. Well, what are they gonna do now? I'm going, way to use your power there, Ewan.
All right, buddy. Okay.
Like that's an ultimate flex, and also at the same time, like, did you just put them in a difficult spot of like maybe they haven't casted her yet and she's auditioned? Or you better hope that she has officially gotten the job. But supposedly, according to Ewan McGregor and some other people involved with the production, Ahsoka is filming soon, and that's targeting a 2023 release. They talked a little bit about The Acolyte, which will be set 100 years before The Phantom Menace and will be a thriller. And I'm going, interesting.
Let's... Oh, dude.
Spider-Man director John Watts is working on a series, which we talked about not too long ago, but it'll be set after Return of the Jedi. Shocker.
Again.
Again.
Yeah,
We'll talk about...
Sure.
We'll break all this down in a little bit. We're just going through it briefly now. After Return of the Jedi, it'll be a coming-of-age story like the classic Amblin Steven Spielberg movies. Kathleen Kennedy. Oh, sweet Jeebus. She has now come out and said, we have a roadmap going forward. We're going to move away from trilogies, and we've kind of got a map of where we want to go. Thrawn. We'll get back to that. However, there's a lot of rumors and speculation that the next Star Wars movie that will be coming out will be Taika Waititi's movie. We didn't really hear too much about Kevin Feige's movie. And lastly, news that should come as a shock to no one except those Last Jedi deniers or those in denial. Rian Johnson's Star Wars trilogy seems to be put on hold for the time being, with Kathleen kind of putting it nicely of, oh, he's busy with Netflix, but I'm sure we'll get around to it, which is, no, this thing's been quietly scrapped, which is...
Yeah.
After seeing Knives Out, I think Rian Johnson could do a great Star Wars movie that's, if it's planned out from the get-go to be his, it could be good, and also, not attached to previous characters. But we've said that the Rian Johnson trilogy is not going to happen for the longest time, but everyone seems to think, oh, no, it'll happen. I'm like, and Ben Affleck will come back as Batman for a standalone movie. Yeah, sure.
I'll take a shot if that happens.
They'll take a shot if it didn't.
There's some interesting stuff here, though. I mean, I don't know about you, Mando. Absolutely exciting. It's kind of weird that they're announcing this series so late in the year. Because we already got the first couple episodes in Boba Fett.
There was no book of Boba Fett. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
it'd be cool to get a Boba Fett show someday.
Yes. Do we know at all who Mary Winstead is playing, or
no idea?
Have they cast Sabine yet? Do we know?
I think she'd be too old for Sabine.
Age? No, I don't think so.
But also, like, I don't know. I don't think I could see her as Sabine.
Maybe not, but that was just
she's
my
playing
thought.
Ezra.
the whales have changed you, Ezra. Um,
She had a whale
man.
of a time.
Oh goodness. But yeah, no, like that's interesting. I would love to find out who she's playing. Because like Ahsoka, there's so much going to be happening in the Ahsoka series, and Ahsoka is definitely going to be one of those series that Dave Filoni has a huge say in because Ahsoka is his baby. So we'll see. Especially following some of the events of Obi-Wan, I'll be curious to see what topics are off limits and what is going to be set. I don't know. I'll be curious if Darth Vader doesn't if some Anakin flashbacks don't happen in Ahsoka.
I'm hoping for flashbacks with Obi-Wan and Anakin and maybe some Ahsoka stuff in the show, but I don't want current timeline Ahsoka to show up in Obi-Wan. That just
agreed.
I want it to be Obi-Wan. I'm coming around to Darth Vader being in it. I'm still not super high on it. If it was up to me, Obi-Wan would be occasionally fighting stormtroopers, but mostly sitting around and arguing with Joel Edgerton for 6 hours. I want nothing besides that. And Obi-Wan betting on pod races because he's never got to see one before. Or Obi-Wan is a pod racer that racks up debt with the wrong people, and him and Joel Edgerton go on a mission to get enough money to clear his name and pay off his debt.
But just the arguing in general would be fantastic, just because of that line in the trailer, eventually he'll have to be trained. Oh, you mean you trained his father? Got it. I was like, love that.
Looks like Anakin's not the only one that got burned.
Oh!
So did Owen.
This is our first news really about the Acolyte, though, isn't it?
More or less, other than we got the showrunner. The Russian
that was
doll
about it.
Showrunner.
But bro, 100 years before the Phantom Menace, that's my favorite timeline. That's my peak Sith time. Let's go. I'm excited about that quite a bit. And
I don't know. I don't think it'll be peak time for the Sith.
100 years before the Phantom Menace?
Yeah, because remember Obi-Wan, because everything always has to come back to Obi-Wan. When Obi-Wan was first talking to Luke, for 1,000 generations, the Jedi Knights were the guardians of peace and justice in the Old Republic before the Dark Times, before the Empire. So that, to me, seems to imply that there was a really long time before Phantom. I think there's been a Sith presence that never fully got extinct, but they were abiding by the rule of two set up by Darth Bane. So I think maybe they're training a new generation of Sith, so to speak.
Maybe.
What if the Acolyte ends with the training of Plagueis?
Ooh. Or even an Acolyte. Okay, hold on. Obviously, timeline-wise,
Darth Annihilus.
Technically speaking, this should be way earlier. But because they can do whatever they want, because of the extended universe, what if the Acolyte is Revan? Because he starts as a Jedi and then becomes a Sith Acolyte and then leaves the Sith. I'm just you know me. I want my Revan. I want my Bane. They're already confirmed to be real in this canon. So it's just I'm just waiting for it.
I don't think they'll put Revan in the Acolyte because I'm still sticking to my guns. I think Revan will show up in Taika Waititi's Star Wars.
I can see that.
I still maintain that I think Taika Waititi's is going to be an Old Republic or the High Republic, whatever they want to call it, era movie. So I'm super excited that Taika Waititi is doing a Star Wars movie. Have been for a really long time, and I know some people are just like, the funny guy? Yeah, What We Do in the Shadows is fantastic. Thor Ragnarok is the best Thor movie until Love and Thunder comes out, and even then, it'll probably still be Ragnarok. But Waititi is more than just comedy. Jojo Rabbit, even within Ragnarok, it's funny, but it's also the saddest Thor movie in terms of everything that gets taken away, not just from Thor, but from everyone else in the movie. He balances drama incredibly well, but he gets characters, and I think character is something that was missing from the sequel trilogy. It started good, but we never got enough time to actually care about these characters or got enough character moments. And Taika does that well. I think it's weird that we didn't hear anything about the Kevin Feige stuff, but that could still be a long way off. There has been some interesting speculation, but I guess we could shoot that down now. I was thinking John Watts, since he is no longer with Fantastic Four, maybe he's directing the Feige Star Wars movie, but he can't be doing that because he's got this TV show instead, which is supposed to be, they're casting like 11 and 12-year-olds for like a coming-of-age story. Okay, I'm interested. Just don't make them Jedi, please. Like,
no. Now that's what I want. Now I want them to do a whole series, and it turns out that they're the new Jedi being trained at Luke's, and the series ends with Ben Solo murdering.
Hi kids, I'm Ben.
Oh yes!
Only on Disney Plus.
I love child murder on screen. Let's go, buddy. Oh, that's a clip. All right, let's go. But yeah, like I think there's a lot of opportunity there. I as well as you are kind of like, really, right after Return of the Jedi, like everything else, all right, fine, whatever. I wish it'd be a different time, but maybe it's on planets that we've never seen before. That I'll allow it if that happens. If it's not like, all right, cool, we're back on Coruscant, or hey, we're back on Tatooine, or hey, like Camino, or something like, you know what I mean? Like, if we can go to different worlds that we haven't been to before, I'm fine with the timeline, as long as we're trying something new. Just sure, whatever. And like Kathleen Kennedy saying that we have a roadmap, I will believe it when I see it. Like,
I think Star Wars has a roadmap now because they forced you to have one. I think Filoni and Favreau were like, hey, we're going to start with The Mandalorian. Okay, here's what I think happened.
Okay.
I think Favreau was like, I've got this idea for a show, but it's about a Mandalorian. How do we go about this? And Filoni in the background dusts off his cowboy hat, dips it down a little bit. Well, that story seems a little small scale. How about we just blow this whole universe up? We can do Thrawn. I've got some dangling plot threads from this other show that I did that I can bring into your show. And then, did you not like what we did with the sequel trilogy characters? Well, we can fix that. We can retcon that because there's 30 years here. We can de-age Luke. We can have him fight Thrawn like we all read about when we were reading stories as kids. And Favreau's going, whoa, slow your roll, put the coffee down. But I like what you're going with, but we got to be slow and methodical about this. And Filoni's going, yes, my master. Always two there are, no more, no less. Whoa!
Yeah, baby, let's go.
So in that relationship, who's the master and who's the apprentice? Is Favreau the master? In which case, is Filoni gonna kill Favreau someday to take Lucasfilm?
Absolutely. That's absolutely good. That's what's gonna happen. But like, yeah, like we needed a roadmap, like guys. But again, I'll believe it when I see it. I have no doubt that we're leading to. We're not doing a trilogy. Okay, we're leading to I'm gonna say an event movie.
Thrawn.
Star Wars.
Thrawn.
That is Thrawn. Because there's no way that we get any farther into this with the inclusion of Filoni to not go back to Thrawn. There's no way.
Well, also, like, fans of the expanded universe that is no longer canon, unfortunately, that they've slowly recanonized, really wanted Thrawn to be one of the major forces in the sequel trilogy, and they just kind of really omitted that, because Thrawn is one of the few expanded universe characters that kind of dipped into the mainstream of, like, even kind of casual Star Wars fans probably have at least seen pictures of Thrawn and be like, oh yeah, he looks familiar and could be a great adversary, something that's different than your typical Sith Lord. I think that's a missed opportunity that we never got something like that of. I don't need a lightsaber to destroy you. I have my mind, you illiterate, boring species with your terrible artwork. That's how I was able to destroy you. I studied your paintings and your blogs. I think it can be great. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not wrong is the thing. Like, because like... yeah, no, absolutely. I think there's no other direction you can go at this point. If you're going with the forward facing timeline, if you're going in that direction, then yeah. Obviously, Taika Waititi thinking that one is the High Republic, super down. I'll be interested to see if he's doing High Republic, if Acolyte ties into that. Should be
Ooh,
interesting.
yeah, that'd be interesting.
And again, you and I were not surprised about Ryan Johnson at all. But there's no way that
It's just been in development for too long, and they announced that before Last Jedi came out. So
yeah, there's no way. Sorry, guys.